Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's Brandon, and I'm here with another video for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It really does mean a lot to me. And today we're going to be talking about some more pure craziness just happening today in the stock market. As I'm sure a lot of you know, but you've seen that Robinhood's banned
GameStop, BLACKBERry, AMC, and NOKIA.
And it's craziness, the amount of uproar that's really came from this and what's been truly happening with a bunch of people complaining about it. Wall Street Bets was shut down or like turned off for a little bit, and now it's invite only. So if you're not already a member of it, I don't think you can really get in it. Just kind of a crazy, unprecedented time. Again, we're still in the market. So in this video, I'm going to kind of go over an article over it and kind of talk about it some more in depth. But if you like the content I put out,
seriously, make sure to subscribe to my channel.
I know a lot of you guys that watch this are not subscribed, so it would really mean a lot to me if some of you would do that. But with all of those things out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so the article I'm looking at is on Yahoo Finance, and as you can see, it just talks about Robinhood halting pretty much the crazy short squeeze stocks that's been happening. And it kind of is going into depth about the craziness that GameStop's stocks gain has happened. 437% gain on like 2 days. That's crazy. And that's not even covering up the run up to 64, which was already crazy in itself, let alone jump to 347. And if you guys saw the run up in the pre-market today, GameStop was over 500 at one point. It's just crazy how that has just happened. And as you can see here, this is actually important to note that, oh shoot, I did not want to highlight all that. But all that, everything I just highlighted, all of those are not able to be bought right now on Robinhood. Their ticker symbols are right next to them, and you can only liquidate them. So meaning you can only get rid of them or sell them, which is kind of crazy that they did so many. It's kind of a precautionary measure to really guard against another huge short squeeze happening, which is kind of crazy if you really think about it and the implications that means with the market. But I mean, hey, it's crazy. And as you can see, this last week or two is the most I've ever seen Wall Street Bets be brought up in an article or CNBC, whatever the case is. Wall Street Bets is definitely making a name for themselves, and it's kind of crazy. So everybody's talking about Wall Street Bets, how they have zero knowledge, they're just running up everything. But if you kind of think about it, even though Wall Street Bets is a lot of gambling and everything, they kind of attacked certain companies that were smart, heavily shorted, and they really front ran it, and it worked out a lot in their favor, as you can see by that kid that made like $23 million. And then this article kind of goes over more into how a lot of the traders are really aggravated and angry that they can't buy more, and it kind of talks about Dave Portnoy, how he says they should be able to trade whatever they want. And something that they call Robinhood out on is an old tweet they had. Oh my goodness, I'm having trouble talking again today. But it's just an old tweet that they had that says, "Let the people trade." And a lot of people are bringing this back up saying, hey, how come you tweeted this, but now you're doing the exact opposite of that by not letting us trade probably the most traded and hot stock at the moment. Even though it's a failing company, the stock is being traded like crazy. Why are you not letting me trade it? And I mean, if you're going back on this word, it's a valid point. I mean, Robinhood has always been from the jump very innovative, front-running people, like the $0 commissions. They cut their margin requirement in half, or the interest rate. So a lot of people, Robinhood just tries things and lets things run, and it's pretty crazy. And as you can see here, just a screenshot of somebody trying to type in GME. It doesn't pull up anymore. So free plug to Globus Medical. Maybe that's the next stock to shoot up. Who knows? People might try that. Who knows? But also talks about Interactive Brokers has done pretty much the same thing. And oh, that's crazy. I must have skimmed over this part. You have to require 300% margin until further notice. That is actually insane. They're shooting all of that up. This is kind of craziness. The short squeeze that's been happening and is currently happening, because GameStop still ran up a little bit, but Last time I checked, they dropped huge. They're at like $130 last time I checked. But this is kind of crazy. And then it shows more screenshots of Wall Street bets, what is happening, and I believe that's the end of the article. Yeah. So it's just kind of crazy how much uproar and fighting that there is going on here. And so what I really wanted to talk about and coordinates with this article and kind of this uproar is that if you are, for whatever reason, really bent on still trading these companies, I believe you should have more than one brokerage account open, especially if you're trading. I think it's very important to have multiple ones, especially if you think back to last year in March. Robinhood went down for a full day. TD Ameritrade had its problems, and E-Trade had its problems. Every brokerage at some point during the last year, March, every one of them had problems at different points and different times. So it's very smart if you're a trader to have multiple brokerages set open. So that way, if something goes down, you have another one to rely on. And also, if something like this, they halt trading on a stock or multiple stocks, maybe the other brokerage will offer that. Because TD Ameritrade is still pulling up GameStop, Nokia, all of them. So, I mean, it's just something to consider if you're really bent on still trading these hot stocks, is to just, frankly, just set up more brokerage accounts. At least one more. It's always good to have one backup just in case something happens. I know personally, I think I have like 3 or 4. I don't really log into the 4th one. I mainly have Robinhood, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, and worst case scenario, Webull. I personally don't really like Webull. That's just a personal thing. If you like it, props to you. I just don't love it. But the biggest, most important thing to come from this, to be honest, and in my personal opinion, is that there's probably going to be big changes coming to either regulations regarding options trading, stock trading, or anything in general, which is kind of the craziest, almost more scary part if you're a small account trader or just a retail trader in general, because they could implement a change to where you need like 25 grand in your account just to be able to trade options or trade stocks. Who knows? Because back in the dot-com bubble is when they implemented the PDT rule, and a lot of people hate that rule, but it was put in to kind of put a block in people that were really making a dent in the big money. And I know just from seeing everything, we are definitely putting a big dent in the big money in Wall Street. And I mean, Wall Street likes to be in complete control of everything. So for a long time coming, retail traders have made such a small percentage of things. And in my opinion, I still think we make up a very small percentage of the total money being traded in the market. I know for a fact that it's true, but seeing everybody get together in Wall Street bets and really front run companies and get short squeezes ran up to $500 on failing companies that were at like $5 at one point, I think that really does scare Wall Street and the potential future implications that could mean for different companies on the market, especially when they're shorting them. So I think this company, or this particular time with GameStop, it didn't become a detriment to a lot of people, but it definitely warned them and kind of scared them a little bit, in my opinion. So I think that means we're going to be seeing maybe tighter regulations, maybe more vetting, screening for people trying to trade options or trying to trade stocks. It's going to be very interesting to see what the government and the Fed, SEC, whoever wants to get involved. Probably not the Fed. That wouldn't make sense too much. If the Fed gets involved in this, there's something very, very serious going on, but that's another topic for another day. But to kind of wrap up everything in this video, Robinhood halted GameStop, AMC, BlackBerry, Nokia. They have the ability to. I mean, it's their right. It's their brokerage. They can do what they want, even though it kind of sucks. I just always recommend having another brokerage account. It helps the most. And I don't think Wall Street's going to really like what's going on here. It didn't affect them too much now, but future implications are very heavy, and they're wary about the future because Wall Street's always thinking ahead several years. And if they see what happened now, I bet their gears are already turning what could possibly be happening 4 or 5 years from now if this keeps going. So I think future regulations are definitely going to be in place. I don't know exactly when, but I think it might be a lot closer than we think. But time will have to tell with that. But if you enjoyed today's video, hit that sub button. Again, I am watching all of you guys that are not subbed. I need you guys to subscribe. It really helps me out. It helps the channel grow, get to more people, and like the video as well. It does the same thing. And drop a comment down below what you think of this whole situation. Do you think it's not right? Do you think they should be forced to be able to trade those things? Let me know your opinions down below. I'd love to hear them. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't do anything that I'm talking about. But with those things all out of the way, thank you guys so much again for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.